Can we look at your Instagram?
Oh my God. First of all, there we go. It's like fresh requests.
Okay, so it's 5, 12. These
But
are all
what
for
do
the
you
last 24 hours.
This person,
Oh my God. Yeah, show it. Mm-hmm.
So this person is doing this for years, all right?
Just
So it's,
reacting to all your photos.
first of all, it's dedication. Second of
And all the same reaction. He is very clever.
Here's another person doing the same thing, right?
All fire emojis.
Sometimes
this is the way, guys.
And so these people, you know, if they want to stand out, I don't feel like to me, it's like a white noise.
Mm-hmm.
So
we've got in the last, so like 5 new ones. And this is all requests. So this guy, what you would expect. Okay, so, and do you always check all of your messages?
I basically I can catch, like, something can catch my eye.
Okay, you have a bunch of unread, so you can kind of just tell based on the profile, right?
So see, like this message was a proper sentence, so I was curious.
So it's a
he said
photo
that
of
he
you.
can,
I can make you drink the best matcha in Istanbul.
So we assume it's somebody from Istanbul and he knows a good place where I can drink matcha. Okay, so
I mean, shocking you didn't respond.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Please,
but there's also hidden request. It was just normal request, and we go to hidden, and there's more.
Oh wow! All within the last hour. 5 hours. There's 4 of them, so there's tons. Yeah. Okay, so
some random guy called me my love. You know, I think it's also interesting.
Say, by the way, you do a lot of work and your physique is great. I'd like to meet you in real life, my love. Oh yeah.
Right.
So when you were in Ukraine, how often would guys, you know what day game is, because we've practiced that during the events that you're a model in some of our events, and we have the guys do the approaches on you and you give them feedback. And how often does that happen, where a guy is approaching you in a sort of direct and a way that's making himself vulnerable?
On a daily basis, I would say.
In Ukraine?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how often are guys like catcalling you? You know what I mean by that?
Catcalling me? It's just something like, woo-hoo.
Yeah, like nice ass, or like, hey baby, that sort of thing. Where it's not a real approach, it's just like
it can happen in specific places, you know, like nightclubs or stuff like that, restaurants. It's actually not that common.
Not common. Okay.
But if you go to places like Istanbul,
right,
you know, different thing, right?
Maria was saying how I think she was in Lebanon.
I've been to Lebanon as well.
And some guy came over and it's just like, how much? Right.
It's very aggressive. Right. I remember I was walking from my apartment to gym in Lebanon, and the guy would hand his phone number on a little piece of paper from a car just passing by. He would just, please take you know what I'm gonna do with your number. It's really aggressive there too. Maybe it's hard for them to meet people. It's also I feel like it's really hard to meet people in LA. Yeah, because you spend all day in your car, and only to meet people you have to drive somewhere first and have something to do. So you need to have a specific plan on where you're gonna meet these people and approach them.
Right. Know? So you found when you were living in Kyiv, you would get approached just like where walking around, or
coffee shops, on the subway, in the streets, on the subway. Yeah.
So it happened every day.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your feeling when that happens? Like, or is it annoying? If the guy's cool, is it better? What is your take on that?
I would never say it's annoying, because I'm a very grateful person. So I'm like, okay, you know, that means, you know, okay, cool, that's great. That's people are interested. Mm-hmm. But I had, some people can be too much. I had borderline stalkers in my life. Mm-hmm. But you can always protect yourself at some points. You know, if you don't want to talk, there's ways to cut off. It was great lesson. Like it was. Yeah, but by now I've learned how to communicate and just explain, you know, that I'm not interested in a very nice way, so nobody's freaking out.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, you know?
If you're not interested, do you usually tell them straight up you're not interested, or you just say you have a boyfriend?
The older I get, the faster I cut off. But before, I used to entertain this a little bit because I didn't know how to say no.
Okay.
So I would just say, oh yeah, well, I can't give you a number, but I'll give you my Instagram. Is that okay? So my Instagram was like really easy way to kind of promise something, oh yeah, I'll respond to you on Instagram, but also safe place because Instagram is public. I don't, everybody can like my picture, then everybody can watch my stories, everybody can slide into my DMs. It doesn't mean I have to respond. When giving your number feels a lot more of a private thing to do. So yeah.
Got it. And so and now are you more likely to just say you have a boyfriend even if you didn't, or would you just still say I'm not interested?
I would never say that I have a boyfriend if I don't have one, but
that's interesting because I would guess I don't think I've ever.
The problem about me, I would not even say. The problem about me, I would not even say that I have a boyfriend even when I have one.
Really?
Because I've heard a few times guys saying like, okay, boyfriend, not a husband,
right.
like.
You didn't put a ring on it.
Also, that would just manipulate you back and say like, I didn't say I want to date you. I was just wanting your number. So I don't want to deal with this. And I'm just saying, I'm just saying what I feel without putting the third party into my conversation, if that makes sense, Well,
it's very common in the US for women to respond when they're not interested to simply say I have a boyfriend.
Really?
Because most guys at that point will just kind of give up. So it's easier. I know because I've done, thousands of these approaches. And when I first got into it, I had to, embarrassing story. I was becoming a coach for a different company.
Yeah.
And I had to get a number on hidden camera from a girl that I approached during the day. And so I had this guy following me around, and we had like a hidden camera in like this box. And I approached 30 girls in a row. It was at a mall in San Diego. And I heard, I have a boyfriend 30 straight times. I think it was actually 34 straight times. And the odds of 34 straight girls having a boyfriend, it's like, if you do the math, it's typically half the girls are in a relationship, right? Half are single, half are in a relationship. And if you do the math, the odds of that happening 34 times in a row, it's very low. So, and it's just very normal here for women to use that as a way to just get out of a conversation. Versus in Ukraine, I almost never heard that. I always heard like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. One time I was like, no, you are weird. Which I found incredibly refreshing.
Right.
I love that because I had already.
You're a freak. You like that. Huh?
I want to know the honest truth versus I was comfortable with rejection because I had done, I'd just been rejected so many times. Yeah. So I was just like, just fucking tell me I'm ugly, tell me I'm gross, whatever. Just don't tell me you have a boyfriend if you don't
tell
have
me
a boyfriend.
about your type or something like that. Yeah.
But I get it. I get why it's easier to just say I have a boyfriend because most guys kind of give up. But that's interesting. Maybe in Ukraine, because what I found with the men in Ukraine, it was a little bit harder to get them to like not pursue if they were interested in a girl. Like they were more persistent than most American men.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Would you say that's true in general?
Because they have a better focus. Mm-hmm. They don't try. Sometimes, sometimes men approach just to see if they can. Mm-hmm. And maybe in Ukraine, since we have a more traditional values, they're not trying to approach just to see if they can approach. They're trying to approach because they want to have you. Yeah. So maybe that's the thing. But also, I haven't been there for a while. Yeah. I feel like things can change slowly, Sure. I think the hookup culture is getting to Eastern Europe too. Oh yeah. Step by step.
Well, as time goes on, right? Western culture kind of spreads
all over.
Because that's more of the, pop culture, I guess you could say. Yeah. So feminism moves, towards and I even felt that in the 4 years I lived in Ukraine. I definitely felt more of a Western influence as time went by. And then how would you compare the amount you got approached in England and in Turkey compared with the US and Ukraine? Although you didn't tell us about how can you get approached here?
How often do I get approached here? Mm-hmm. On a daily basis. But But I feel like it's not about how often you get approached. It's about the quality of approaches, right? Mm-hmm. Or quality of people who are approaching you. Because, you might be approached by a person, you know.
Yeah, she's looking because there's a big homeless area right here.
I'm looking at the homeless area, and they're always telling me I look gorgeous, you know, and I appreciate that. But like, can I count this as approach? I don't know. I can be approached by
like an actual approach where the guy is trying to get your number and take you on a date.
A daily basis, yeah. Okay. If I'm outside, something will happen.
Yeah.
If I'm at the restaurant, if I'm somewhere
in
a gym.
I was actually like randomly meeting with the guy who lived in the building.
Yeah.
And we met in the dog park, started discussing stuff, and we ended up like having lunch together. And, you know, I told him what I did, and then we saw, you know, we exchanged Instagrams, and we saw the mutual friend in you. And
me?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think he didn't tell me how he got your Instagram, but then you later told me about a guy who approached you when you were here helping at my event.
I was just on the way to see you, and downstairs, a guy with a dog,
little white dog,
yeah, he approached me, and I was like, oh my god, is this already they training out here, approaching in the street? So this happens a lot. But I know it sounds funny, even in LA, depending on the neighborhood. Let's say I'm always approached in a gym in a specific place, but if I go to a more chill gym, everybody leaves just, I'm peaceful. Nobody's.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're at the West Hollywood Equinox, for example,
right?
Is that a place you're going to get approached? Right.
This is a nightclub. Okay.
Totally.
You just lifting weights 1 minute, and another minute you're kissing in the mouth. You know, always like that. If you want some peace, go to like Studio City, Equinox. You'll find some peace there. Yeah.
Yeah. And you recently moved from West Hollywood.
I recently moved, and I was like, oh my god, I guess nobody likes me anymore. Nobody's coming up to me. Yeah, the energy there is completely different. You know, I feel like West Hollywood is automatically a place of people who, you know, trying to get by and meet people and hang out as much. They're trying to expose themselves as much as they can.
For sure.
And that's why a lot more of approach happens there. So
yeah, when I was single and I lived in LA. You know, the first place I ever lived was Marina Del Rey.
Okay.
And now
you probably felt a little lonely there.